Crypto Excel. This is not financial advice. This is DJ cryptocurrency investing by the elite DJ crypto investor. High risk, high reward. Cryptocurrency investing. Remember to manage your risk, to buckle your seatbelts, and to prepare for the ride. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you as we proceed to give you what you need. Let's dive in. All right, guys. Hi, everybody. This is Crypto Excel here, bringing you some more alpha. So, as we check out Bitcoin and what Bitcoin has been doing, we reached a high of 73,600, and we came back down to, we came all the way back down to around 60,000. And this is on the monthly. The monthly, we've been going through a range of 72,400 to 64,956. So what it looks like is happening is that we're forming a bull flag, okay, because our highs are getting a little bit lower and our lows are getting a lot lower. I mean, a lot higher. So our lows are getting a lot higher and our highs are getting a little lower. So, which means to me that there's more buying momentum going towards the upside. There's more pressure pushing towards the upward side of the trend, right? And you see the lows are getting a lot higher, and the highs, the ceiling is pretty close to staying the same. Okay, we had one wick that came out on a weekly, but it's pretty much the same around 72,000. So it seems we're going to be pinching and getting up to a breakout point approximately on the 22nd of April, right? So these usually do not go all the way to the peak. They usually break out before it gets to the peak. So we can get a breakout at any second, actually, right? So I hope that you have your bags packed and that you're ready for a moon mission. Because I do believe if we were to get a wick, like let's say it breaks down instead of breaking up, when it breaks down or if it breaks down, I think that will be short lived. I believe that wick, if we get the wick, will be for buying up before it resets and comes back to the upside. Because if you were to look on the monthly for Bitcoin, um, when you get close to the halving, which is where we are now, we're close to the halving. Halving is about a week away on April 20th. When you get close to the halving, you get a lot of upwards momentum, even though it might take a few months after the halving before you go parabolic. Still there's more pressure to the upside, and when the price gets pushed down, it gets quickly bought up, right? And then eventually you get these solid green bars that propel you and push you to the upside. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater, right? The more you hold it down, the more you push it down, is the more you have momentum pushing it back to the upside. So it's just a matter of time before we bubble up and we sprout. We might get out of the water. We might just spring up and get a wick to the upside before coming back down, right? But there's still going to be upwards pressure pushing us up right after the halving. And whereas in 2020, it took a few months, right? This is on the monthly. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months before you get that high buying momentum, that high buying pressure. Um, this time we have more momentum than we did in the past. So it probably will not take 7 months. So I'm looking for around July until we see some really, really significant price increases. And it might even be before then. So I hope you have your bags packed because it's going to be one heck of a ride. Right. So shout out to the Patreons because we have been accumulating. We haven't been shaken out of the market. We see a lot of short term sell pressure. We've seen the altcoins in particular come down quite significantly. If you look at AI Tech went up to 50 cents and it's retraced now to below 20 cents. So that's a very, very big difference. That's about a 60% discount from the highs. And so, since we're smart, we accumulate on these pullbacks and we're patient enough to wait, because how you do well in the market is not a game of who can do the most the quickest. It's a game about who could survive and who can maintain and who can make the correct decisions, unemotional, intelligent decisions to get in at the right moment and to DCA out at the right moments. So, moving on to the crypto bubbles, we see on the daily there's a lot of red, a lot of blood in the streets, as they would put it. And if you look on the weekly, it's a mixed bag, but mostly red, right? With a few coins standing out. I see Neo is up 46%. That'll be interesting to look into to see. I believe that's an Asian crypto, so that's interesting. Jasmine's also up, also very strong in the Asian sector. So that's something to note. Maybe a next play would be to get one of the cryptos that do well in Asia that have not seen these gains yet. That's interesting. On the monthly, a different story. But yes, we're in a period now where things are fluctuating, right? Interesting that Say is down 31%. So for those who want a very, a high cap crypto at a decent price, you look at Say, look at Algorand down 28%, even H bar is down 30%, and Rune down 30%, AGIX down 18%, and GRT, Arbitrum. Wow, some solid projects here at a discount. Matic is down 30%. Interesting. Uniswap. Let's talk about Uniswap. Uniswap is down 37%. Now, Uniswap, as you know, is the number one DeFi app based off the Ethereum blockchain. And it's a solid blue chip, stable crypto that is being attacked by the SEC. SEC is deeming their activities as violating securities and exchange laws. So once you hear a major and powerful governmental sector such as the SEC going after a crypto established company, you're going to see a lot of red in the valuation of that crypto, because you can look and see what they did to XRP and how XRP completely underperformed the 2021 bull market. You could also see the results of them mentioning Cardano, Solana, and Matic as securities and how it's dramatically affected the prices of those solid blue chip cryptos. And an investor that is a high risk investor, but a patient investor and a smart investor would know that the best time to acquire these cryptos is when they're going through a lot of FUD, where there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And so I would acquire, if I wanted Uniswap, particularly in my portfolio, I would acquire it now while it's getting beat down. I wouldn't wait to see what the market does and to see how it rebounds. I would start DCAing now if I wanted that in my portfolio. Do I know how this court case is going to turn out? No, I don't. I don't know what's going to happen either way. I will say this though, that the SEC has been losing their last few cases. They've been losing against Coinbase. They've been losing against XRP, and now they have issues with ADA, Matic, and Solana, right? So I would use this as a buying opportunity, just judging off the past, what has happened in the past. Do manage your risk. Do realize I'm not a financial advisor. I can only tell you what I would do, right? But this is interesting to note for those of you who wanted a discount in Uniswap, have at it, right? So moving right along, I wanted to mention Our Games. Our Games is a crypto project that is part of the Paragen Launchpad. So I was going to bring you information about Paragen and how it's a good time to get in on this Launchpad because the price is practically free. Um, well, it is free for Launchpad status. I'll put it that way, because it was down a lot. It was down a whole lot. I had a meeting with one of my Patreons today, private meeting, and I was mentioning how Paragen would be a really good IDO launchpad to get into now because it's been drastically oversold. And I wanted to get this information out to you as soon as possible. But as I concluded my meeting, I come back and it's just going up. It's just been going straight up. So that's quite unfortunate, because I was talking to a very smart guy. I was talking to him earlier today, and I'm like, hey, I would start acquiring some of this now. And this is the kind of information that, crypto moves really, really fast. And to stay up on the information, I would definitely become part of the Patreon. And the deeper you are into the Patreon, is the more time I have to allocate towards bringing you this information. Because getting in at 0.009, is a 30% discount. I had no idea that it was going to go up, right after the meeting. That's crazy. But again, I mean, guys, even at this price, this is not the correct market value, by the way. It's saying the market value is 34,000. It's closer to $2 million, guys. All right, so the market value is closer to 2 million. But buying a launch pad with a $2 million market value, even though it pumped 31% today, buying it at a $2 million market value to get an allocation of almost $2,000 when we're about to go into a parabolic bull run, it's a no-brainer to me, right? Because these projects are going to be doing 40x on launch. On the launch, it's going to do 40x. So you'll be able to recoup your initial investment within two projects. So absolutely, I think this is a screaming buy. At this price, at a penny and a half, when it was 0.009, I'd have to be insane not to buy it, right? That's what I mean by free, right? So, and is it literally free? No, no, it's not. But for what you're able to do with it, the top tier in PowerGen, by the way, was 500,000 um, tokens. Back when I had the meeting about an hour and a half ago or so, it was 4,500. Now it's 6,500. But there are different tier levels, right? I just told you about top tier. There's a whole bunch of different tier levels. You don't have to get the top. You can get mid tier and it'll be half this price, maybe 3 grand, or you can get quarter tier and it'll be half that price, right? Maybe $1,500, right? So you get in where you fit in, because in my opinion, this is just going to multiply your money anyway, right? So it's an equation of how much allocation do you want, right? Because you don't necessarily need to get a $2,000 allocation. Maybe you settle for a $400 allocation. $400 allocation that goes 40x, that still turns into at a 1,600, right? And I'm just doing it, or 16,000. So multiplying your money by in any means, you do want to sign up for that. It's always a good idea to be able to multiply your money. Because if you look at our games, they just came out with this recently, and the returns are 232%. So it's currently at a 3x, and all time high was at almost a 5x. So, and you receive 20% on TGE. So on token generation event, you receive 20% of your tokens. If you were to sell that at a 5x, you'd have gotten 100% of your investment back, and the 80% you just keep in there. So 80% of the crypto pretty much you'd have for free, and you get the 80% over the next 5 months. So that's why, to me, PowerGen was a no-brainer. It does seem easy and the most logical thing to do. Do realize that under the Patreon, the higher level you are in the Patreon is the more information you get and the quicker you get the information, right? Do realize that all of this, the higher level you're in, like if you're in a mentor, he was a mentor, so we just had a meeting under the mentor class, and we had a private meeting. It was about an hour or so, and we discussed all of this in detail. So hopefully he already got in. I told him that it's probably a good idea to get in, because now he would have had a almost 40% pump right after the meeting, But more importantly, having the highest tier in a launch pad that's going to give you 40x per transaction heading into a Bitcoin bull run. And 40x might actually be conservative. It might actually be more than that, guys. So again, you think you're saving money by not joining a group like this, and in my opinion, you're probably losing money because you're missing information that could help you make really, really good decisions. And I do also want to note, I do want to also let you know that nothing is guaranteed in crypto. This was just one transaction and one example, but there are many, many examples. And you can see throughout the course, you can go on and watch my videos of all the information that's public, and you can see when I'm telling you, hey guys, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to do these multiples, and you'll see that they actually have done those multiples. Right? There's countless cryptos. If you look at, go all the way back to inception, and this is only a few months back. Maybe, maybe it's like 5 months ago when you see like my first video, and you can see which coins I'm mentioning, which prices I'm buying them at, and you can see what the price is now, and you can see that these multiples are actually happening. Right? So again, so that is the Patreon. Do check it out, and hopefully you make the right decision, the best decision for you. Now, moving right along, I don't know why my screen just went blank. It was weird. Moving right along to Octavia. Octavia is another launch pad, very strong. They have not released any projects yet. They're going to be releasing projects soon. I hear they have around 6 projects in the pipeline, and I'm not going to wait until they launch the 6 projects to start acquiring Octavia. I'm not going to wait until Bitcoin goes up to $85,000 and then I start buying Octavia. I'm not going to wait for Octavia to hit $2, $3, and then start buying Octavia. I'm not going to do that. That's not how I operate. I'd buy Octavia when Octavia is 93 cents, and I'm actually surprised that it's this price already. If you look at it, it's been the price has been getting beaten up, as well as the rest of the market, and this is what I mean by Bitcoin retracing slightly or going sideways, and the altcoins completely getting destroyed. Right? Look at this. It's if you were to look at it was at a high of $2.76, guys, and now it's 93 cents. And we don't know how far it's going to fall. I don't know how far it's going to fall, but I do know that this is a good level to start DCAing in, right? I don't know how much it's going to fall, but I know that it's more than 70% lower than its highs. So I don't mind DCAing right here. And this is a launchpad project, and it's on 10 exchanges, and the same kind of teams that you have from Chain GPT, DexCheck, and GTAI. They have the same board members, or they have similar board members on each team, and they have a similar process of how they market their product and the technical expertise they have with launching launch pads and projects, and also Telegram bots. The expertise that they have in programming are shared among them. So this could end up performing like AI tech, or like the big AI cryptos. So I would get in on a retracement. I'm not going to get in up here when the price is 276, which is gonna go back there, by the way, just so you know. And I don't think it's really going to take that long, guys. I think within a few months we're at $5, right? So am I going to cry? If I buy at 93 cents and then it drops all the way down to 60 cents, 65 cents, am I going to cry because I should have waited? No, no, I'm not going to cry at all, because I don't know that it's going to drop to 65 cents. I can't prove that now, right? I don't know when the what the low is. I can only guess, right? I can only make strategic guesses. And if you're going to go, I guess you can go by previous support and resistance lines, which is an intelligent thing to do. But um, yeah, this is a support right here, right around 93 cents. But we don't know if this is going to hold. So I would get some here, and if it breaks, get some more, right? But I would definitely want to get a nice tear in their launch pad, because I feel that I might be surprised by the projects that they end up launching. And when I get surprised, it's too late. It's too late then. So these are the different tiers. Base is 200 VIA, bronze is 500 VIA, silver is 2000 VIA, gold is 5000 VIA, emerald is 10,000 VIA, and emerald elite is 15,000 VIA, right? So you have a point system, a boost system, where you get a 50% boost in whatever you invest, based on if you stake it for a year. So if you stake for a year, you get a 50% boost, right? So like, let's say I wanted to reach gold status, I would, only have to get like 3,500 VIA, and then 1.5 times 3,500, right? 3,500 VIA, 3,500 VIA times 1.5 gives me 5,250. So then I would get put into the gold tier, right? So I buy 3,500 VIA, stake it for a year, and then that would put me in the gold tier, right? And if I was an emerald and I wanted to become emerald elite, I would get 10,000 emerald and stake it for 1 year. One times 1.5 will give me 15,000 VIA. So that's how it works, right? So you don't have to get the full 2,000 VIA to be silver. Maybe you only get 1,500 and you stake it for a year, and now all of a sudden you're silver. So that's how that works. But again, I would get in on these things early. I'm not going to wait till later to get in when the price is already astronomical and the market catches up and it knows how valuable these things really are. I'm not going to wait for that. I already know that they're valuable now, right? I'm not going to wait for confirmation. And if you look at DexCheck has Meta Xseed coming out. They have a secret project here and a secret project here. They also have Grindery. Do realize that the allocations that they're getting are quite big. They're huge, actually. They're getting 300K allocation for Meta Xseed. They're getting 500,000 allocation for this secret project. For Grindery, they're getting 400,000 allocation, and they're also getting 400,000 allocation for this secret project. Now, split amongst 740 oracles is quite a big allocation you're going to be getting per oracle. So per 100,000 dex check invested, you're getting anywhere from, I would say, 250 to 500 dollars worth of allocation, depending on the amount of participants in that project and depending on the total raise. Remember, all of these total raises are different. There's a big difference between 300K total raise and 500K total raise, right? So that's why I gave you that range. But if you were to go to a normal launch pad for the amount that you have invested for 100K dex check, that's approximately $8,000. If you put $8,000 into a normal launch pad, the amount of allocation you'll get back from that might be like $150 on average allocation. So we're talking about, you're comparing $150 allocation versus, anywhere from $250 to $500, right? So you get a bigger allocation with DexCheck. Do realize though that these are, private sales, so that means that you're going to have to wait a longer time for your complete vesting. It might be a whole year of your complete vesting to finish for you to get all of your crypto. But in a trade off for that, you get a 20% discount on the IDO price on average. So you're saving 20% off the IDO price, which was already very low, right? The IDO price was cheap. That's why you got into the IDO, but this is a private sale, so you get even a 20% off of that price. So it could turn something that ends up giving a 15% return on project, and now it turns into a 20%, a 20x. Instead of a 15x return, you get a 20x return on the project. So do keep that in mind. So I would not feel bad about not getting my complete allocation during the bull run, because you end up getting such a high amount of return on, even if you get 50% of your allocation in the bull run. These projects can end up going 80x. So you get 50%, but an 80x return on the peak of the bull run. That's the way I look at it. So do look out for DexCheck. Again, all of these cryptos right now, they're in the red. They're coming down, but that's when you buy, guys. That's not when you sell. That's not when you're worried about crypto. That's when you try to find ways to acquire more crypto, right? Because the money is made at the time when you buy. Okay, if you're buying these big green candles, you're probably not going to make that much money. If you're DCAing in, if you're DCAing in on the red, right? If you're DCAing in down here, when Bitcoin's at 15,500, how much of us would have liked to buy these IDO launch pads right here when it was 15,500, and even here, right? In 2023, right? Especially towards the end of 2023, a lot of these launch pads were free, right? Imagine you'd be on top tier on every single launch pad if you're buying here. So train yourself to buy in the red, guys. When you're about to head into a bull run, or if you're already in a bull run, you know, not financial advice. It's just my point of view. So I gave you a pretty good overview of the market. I let you know, so a good game plan of what you should be looking for. Some great launch pads, some great projects, and some great ways to make 40x and above. And if you want more alpha, do tune into my Patreon. Do realize that the Patreon gets this information quicker than you do. They literally get buy alerts of when I'm buying, when I'm selling, sell alerts when I'm selling, ideas that I float by them in Discord, and also Patreon chat. If they have any projects that they're looking into, they have any inquiries, or they just want another set of eyes on what they're studying, I'm right there for them. They're getting all of this, and it's giving them a competitive advantage. And if you would like that competitive advantage, if you would like an inside look on the pulse of crypto, what's happening in the market, what's about to happen, then do feel free to check out the links on my YouTube video and join the Patreon. And the higher your membership, the more alpha you get, the quicker you get the information. And these guys could reach out to me at any time. And, I'm willing to definitely go over some information and to play tennis back and forth and give them the information back. Right. So you've currently been served a nice dish of crypto, right? And this alpha has been for free. I thank you for your support on the channel, and I look forward to us convening some more and shooting information back and forth. This has been Crypto Excel with your daily update, and I will be catching you on the top. Peace out. Crypto Excel. Exactly as predicted. Shout out to the Patreons.